Hello, and welcome to this wonderful presentation. This is the Business and AI Forum. We have a wonderful day of programming focused on showcasing how business and business functions are being impacted by AI technologies. Without a firm understanding of how governance, organizational capabilities, risk management, investments, ROI, and adoption efforts are being implemented, organizations cannot fully make use of AI as a competitive advantage. My name is Joaquin Melara, and I am the founder of the Swarm community, as well as the host of the AI Digest. Swarm is a community practice focused on ESG problems with open source AI technologies. And in this webinar, Peter Faleskini will be giving us a thoughtful perspective around how to view risk management in the context of AI. Peter is the host of the Ask Faleskini podcast, as well as a longtime practitioner in the space of technology, entrepreneurship, and risk management. And with all that being said, I'll pass the mic over to Peter. Peter, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you, Joaquin, for this lovely introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation. I'm gonna go through the basics of AI-related risk management, and on the end, we're gonna have a Q&A session that will enable you to ask if anything is unclear in my presentation or if there are questions that you would like to be answered after the presentation. So welcome to the Business Plus AI Forum from my side. I will talk today about AI-related risk management. I will try to present a comprehensive guide for businesses, and because I'm a no-nonsense person, this will be a no-nonsense approach, not a lot of theory, but more hands-on advice that will help you implement AI risk management in your business as soon as this webinar stops. As Joachim already said, I'm Peter Faleskini. I'm LinkedIn top risk management voice. I'm also certified enterprise risk manager, and I'm a long-time AI aficionado. I discovered AI algorithms in the late 80s. I coded my first program utilizing heuristic AI algorithms in early 90s, and I started using AI in my own business in the early 2000s. I'm, of course, available on LinkedIn so that you see where I share most of my recent projects. So let's start with the actual presentation. First, let me address the elephant in the room, and that is risk management. The most important is to understand that in our economic environment, profit is the reward for assuming risks. So the goal of our economic activity is profit, and we cannot manifest profit without assuming risk. That is very important because a lot of people tend to avoid risk. Of course, avoiding risks is one of the risk management tools and possibilities. However, when you avoid risk, you also avoid profit. It's a given. So you cannot make a profit without assuming risk. Of course, modern science and business practices discovered that risks can be transferred. In most cases, risks are transferred to either to our buyers, our subcontractors, or they're transferred to insurance agencies. And the most common practice still is accepting the risk. So the management accepts the risks, understands what are the risks, what are the probabilities, what are the severities, and also understands that by accepting risk, there are also risks of failures, and then they have to provide or reserve enough assets that they will be able to cover the risk if the risk materializes. I would like to start that regardless how passionate you are about AI, there are only three benefits of AI utilization today. One is optimization of existing processes. The second one is automation of existing processes. And the third one is outsourcing. However, outsourcing to AI is rare and it's not really common these days. The most the most common practice is optimization and automatization. When I talk about optimization, I usually have in mind bottlenecks and optimization of bottlenecks. And when I'm talking about automatization, I'm talking about things that we can program to be done in the future or to be done today. And for example, chats, AI related chats, they can offer the best answers to the questions of our users. I would like to state that there are a lot of non just AI related risks when dealing with AI. However, most companies overlook them. That is why I have listed the top 8 non just AI related risks. And the first one is when you decide to purchase or just install AI app, you have a choice to go with established companies like Google and Microsoft, or you can go with new players. There are a lot of new players on the market. However, we know from the past experiences that new players are much riskier to work with. Why? Because they're mostly VC founded. And if they ran out of money, the app won't be available. And also, if there's a problem, you will not be able to sue them because they're not properly funded. Then there's another risk that is often overlooked is hosting on the premises with the cloud services. And if you have sufficient money available, you should be hosting as much data on your premises as possible. And of course, the cloud is the same as the number one. You should use the cloud from established companies like Google, Microsoft, or Amazon. Of course, there is also always a risk related to AI is that AI usually work on data, and this data can be a company's data or personal data that is ours with, or you can use the internet data and a third-party data. It's really important that you understand that when you're using your data, you can breach, for example, if you're using your client's data or information, you might be breaching their privacy. Or if you're using internet data or third-party data, you might have a problem with the third-party intellectual property rights. The fourth also important topic is how much will you share when using AI, because most companies are not aware that a lot of results are shared if you're using programs like ChatGPT. And I will discuss one of the biggest failure where employees of a major company did not understand that they are sharing the results and also input data when they are using ChatGPT. When you are using AI, it's also important to understand that you should have procedures in place and that you should avoid the laissez-faire principle as much as possible, because if you have procedures, when something goes in the wrong direction, if everyone in the company and outside is aware of the procedures, it will be much easier to solve any case and do the damage control. Of course, most of the small companies choose damage control over managing risk because it's much less work, and because small companies are usually guided by entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs are more prone to assessing or assuming big risks in order to get big profits. And that is why they rely more on damage control than on the managing of the risk. However, I, as a risk manager, always propose that you invest your resources also in the risk management side, because only in the beginning, when you're starting the company, the damage control might be something that you are able to do. But when things get big, you can endanger the whole company if certain risk materializes and you don't have a risk management system in place. There's another huge problem that most of the companies are not aware of, and that is that a lot of AI related programs using AI, especially a more complex one, have a huge risk of loose cannon program. That is, that a program starts working on its own. For example, it starts sending emails to clients because it believes that they should get this special discount today, or it starts selling data because it can calculate that selling clients' data is more lucrative uh, than using client data to sell your product and similar. So you have to be really aware that there is a possibility of loose cannon program in AI, and that this is a huge danger. That is why when purchasing an AI related software, please look for kill switch. All all working with this program should know where is the kill switch for this program. If things go wrong, that you can at least do some damage control when you see that there's a loose cannon situation. I would also like to stress that a lot of companies are now implementing AI because it's fashionable, because everyone talks about AI. However, only few companies right now has achieved a higher input by using AI related software. So right now, most companies are so-called investing in AI. However, if we look at it from objective angle, they're spending more money than they will ever get out by utilizing AI-related products, because the cost of implementation and running is much higher than potential output of the software that they have purchased. And also, AI is not adding value because there are only few people available that can prompt AI softwares and that are skilled enough to create value for the company. Okay, and now these are the top 8 of not just AI related risks. And now I would like to present top 7 AI specific risks. One, and the most important one that I see that is the most overlooked right now with my clients, and reading the news and watching all the data available right now, is that a lot of people believe that the only AI algorithm are neural networks, especially with popularization of ChatGPT and similar programs. Neural networks are the AI right now. However, that is not the case. We need to understand that there are also heuristic algorithms and evolutionary algorithms and all different algorithms. There is a huge problem with neural networks and neural algorithms in AI if you don't have enough data. If you don't have over 1 million records, neural networks will not be efficient. And then how companies solve this? They take just random data from the internet and they use it on top of your data, and then you have a complete mess from the output. And when talking about the mess of the output, we are here with number 2 AI specific risk, that is choice of data. Please note, AI is not a magic tool, it's just a tool. So there is a rule in IT: garbage in, garbage out. It's really important how you prepare your data and what you expect from your algorithm in order to get results that will result in added value for your clients and, of course, added profit for the owner of the business. The AI is also specific because you don't have a control over processes and results, especially neural networks. they make so much permutation that you are not even aware how many operations they did. So you are not able to control the process. You can just check if the output is what you're looking, is what you're looking to get, and the process you have no control over, and that is also extremely that is a huge problem because GDPR and different data rules demand that you understand what is going on with your data at all time, and that you have a trace of all the steps that were taken with the data and everything that has happened. And in the neural networks, that is 99% not possible. Then there is another really great risk, is that interaction of AI with existing human stuff is not sufficient or is not good. A lot of managers see a program that solves specific tasks, and they are really good at this task. But when they're implementing this into their process, the AI, because of lack of data, or because of lack of settings, or because of lack of knowledge how to prompt it, has huge problems with existing human stuff. And AI understands data differently than human does. So it's important that we understand that interaction of AI app with existing human stuff is a huge risk, and it will destroy your processes if you don't take extreme care about these risks. I would also like to stress that AI in 99% right now, the cost of implementation and running are higher than the outputs. So the added value of AI, even if in some specific cases is extremely high, the added value of the inputs of AI software, when implemented in everyday processes, in everyday companies and everyday problems, they have really not as great output as presented in all the commercials and the demos and all the presentation. And another really important risk of AI is intellectual property rights. Because AI often, especially neural network AI, often takes data from internet and often takes data from third parties, what is fit, the neural networks algorithms that do not have inherited function, that they would check for intellectual property right. And as we saw with ChatGPT, they don't care about intellectual property right, because for them it's just important that they have a reference, and that is it for the program. However, for our economic system, we have a lot of legislation concerning intellectual property right, and this is a huge risk when utilizing and sharing data. I believe that there's an expert on the panel after me, and you will have a special topic will be just intellectual property right in AI. And the third one is GDPR, compliance and compliance at large. Most neural networks and products that are available on the market right now are not GDPR compliant because, as I said, control of the process is not taken care of, because it's still a lab product where you take data from the internet and you're just amazed what product can do with you. However, in the real world, you need to understand how you're working with the data. Every step is extremely important, and you cannot be just fond of your result. You also need to understand the process, how you came to the result in full. And let me continue with famous and hidden AI-related risk materializing. So let's say for the past 20 years, 25 years, companies are using AI-related products. And the there are a lot of apps available that use AI related, at least part of the program is AI related. And of course, most of the risks were not part of the risk management policies. So uh, the most famous case is when engineers from Samsung enter their design in ChatGPT to see how ChatGPT would optimize the design of their electronics. And what happened was that everyone who was searching for this electronic from Samsung got all the details that were basically intellectual property right and were hidden before, because ChatGPT in that version made all the inputs public and also all the output public. So Samsung has completely changed their internal policies of using AI related products and how they can share data and who can share data. And they have also notified all employers what they can and cannot do. Then there's another case of Asian Bank. I cannot disclose the name because I'm under NDA. They had a breach of trust with AI related products. There was 100 million plus transfer to be made, and the gang targeted the officer that is authorized to sign. And this officer said, "Okay, I received the email from his superior officer, and then because of the procedure, inside procedure in the bank, the officer in charge of transferring the money requested a Zoom meeting with superior office that sent the email with directions or with transfer details, and and also he notified the controller in the company. So the guy that transferred the money had Zoom chat with superior officer and controller officer, and he transferred the money. However, it was later found out that AI was so good that they falsified the whole video, the whole Zoom chat in real time with controlling officer, and also they falsified the superior officer. So the officer in charge of transfer had got a written email that he should transfer something, and then he got confirmation over Zoom call that he can transfer, and he made a transfer. And only later they found out that the controlling officer and the officer superior to the officer that did the transfer were an AI mimic completely. Then there is another company that I cannot disclose the name. Is a U.S. Legal office from one of the South states in U.S. They asked me about the Canadian AI software aimed at legal and paralegal activities, and I did the risk assessment. And the biggest challenge with them using this software was that all legal companies that they are competing with are using the same software. So all the tricks and trade secrets and everything that they were using and all the knowledge was copied into the engine of this software. So they did not understand how everyone started to use their tricks. And then when I was doing the risk assessment, I found out that the company used this AI tool that is really popular, and this was the source why they disclosed, not knowingly, of course, because they were just using a software that they believed is like a text processor or something like that, or more advanced text processor, but was AI related. So all the data that they inputted were not breached. However, all the procedures, how they're going about the data, became part of the engine or the black box of the AI related uh, legal assistance software, and that is how they lose their competitive advantage because of the AI that they were using. I would also like to stress that one famous chat GPT risk that materialized is that in perfect articles, the chat GPT, in order to sound more um, expert-like, they references made-up articles, and that is and that was found out only when the articles that were references were searched by the company where these articles should appear, and they found out that there was no articles like the chat GPT just made up articles in order to be more efficient and to look as an expert. So let me continue with the top 6 takeaways about AI-related risks. AI-related risks are here and now. They're not in the future. They are here. You are taking a risk if you are using AI-related software. Of course, AI-related software and apps and machines that use AI are our present. They are here and we cannot avoid them. So it is paramount that we understand that the risks that we are assuming by utilizing these apps. You personally and your company are exposed to AI-related risks. That's a given. Some AI risk will destroy your business if they materialize. So it is extremely important that you identify these risks and either try to transfer this risk to your suppliers or to your buyers, or try to ensure these risks. So if they materialize, that your business might have some damages, but these damages will be paid up by third party. As for AI-related risks, I believe that you need a detailed analyze, a working plan, and available budget. Yes, all three are important. If you just identify your risks and probabilities of this risk materializing, this will not be enough. You need a working plan that is reported to all the people in your company. So if if there is an identification or possibility of risk materializing, that everyone in the company knows how to handle it, how to report it, whom to speak with, and where is the kill switch if this is appropriate. And of course, you will have to have also a PR plan so that you know how to communicate when the risk materializes, and available budget to cover the consequences. And usually when the process stops, there will also be no sales at that time and similar. So I do believe wholeheartedly that AI risk management know-how is the key to higher profitability today in every company, with every entrepreneur. I would say that understanding the risks will help you assume bigger risks, and you will get a bigger reward if you will be able to assume higher risk without without the probability of this risk either materializing or that the risk is not transferred to insurer or a third party. I would also like to stress another thing that I think is one of the most important takeaways. If you have AI chatbot, please make sure that your clients, your visitors know that it's an AI chatbot and that it's not a human. And also have a way, if they're not satisfied with this AI bot, that they can contact human support if everything goes wrong. And also, if you have social media accounts, please notify everyone that they are AI managed, and that you are transparent about it, because that is the only way that you will be able to mend anything if things go wrong. Because if you say in advance they are AI managed, and if things go wrong and AI sends someone to go F themselves, you will be able to excuse themselves, give them a coupon or a discount, and still keep the customer. If you say that, if you make it seem like a human and something like this happen, you will have a much bigger problem managing this if the risk of AI going in the wrong direction materializes. Okay, I'm here and I'm available for all the questions that may arise from this presentation.
Thank you, Peter. Um, Peter is also a life coach, and he's working on developing a wellness retreat in Europe. So, apart from this presentation, feel free to reach out to him via his LinkedIn. I do have one question in front of me. Okay, so you painted a very clear picture that without risk, there cannot be reward,
Yep.
and I think there is also this misconception that there needs to be risky behavior in order to have gainful behavior. But I think you also made mention, and I think I just want to make that explicit. When you say have procedures, when you say don't be laissez faire, when you say manage risk accordingly, I want to ask you, what is your advice for working incrementally and responsibly in adopting these uncertain and volatile technologies?
Okay, first, let me start by addressing the AI risks. And the topic that you addressed is that risky behavior gains or results in more gains. That is a gambler mentality. That is not something that established entrepreneurs should do. Of course, when you are small, when you're starting up, you will try everything, and that is acceptable to some degree. However, when you go from the startup phase into more procedure orientated phase, you need to understand if there is risks. You need to understand how much risk you can assume, or how much money you can lose. So if you're betting on AI and you're investing, I don't know, $25,000 for the app, okay, and then you have two more employees that will work on that app for a year, then you have already invested probably about 250,000 in that project. When do you stop? Where's the kill button? So know how much you risk, and don't spend good money to cover the mistakes of the bad money that you spent. That is extremely important. And assuming risks, you can assume only the risk that you can survive. So if you have an extra $250,000, use this to invest in AI. If you don't have extra $250,000, then try with cheaper apps. Buy phone that is not used for customer support. You make new account so that everyone knows that you are testing and similar. So be honest about your face. So don't say, okay, we know and we know everything. Tell clients we are trying AI. Are you satisfied with it? Get reply from the clients and understand if that helps them. If that does not help the client, if that does not help your employees, don't do it. Just stop. Okay, you invested a couple 100,000. Stop there. That is one of the most important things. So don't put the whole company in jeopardy because you tried one AI app. And I believe that is so you can, when you're established, you should just risk what you can afford to lose.
So abstain from holding a gambler's framing and mindset, and
Mhm.
invest incrementally to maximize your learnings in order to reduce the risk that you exposed to by putting the house or the farm on one bad move.
Agree. And I would also like to say, get an expert advice. I know that is a direct commercial for my services, but or other AI related risk project manager or risk managers. But get an expert advice. Understand what are your risks. That is important. You should understand the risk before you assume it. And understanding the risk is not, okay, something can go wrong, but it's also how much it will cost when it goes wrong.
Thank you very much, Peter, for giving us this wonderful presentation. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put comments below in this webinar, as well as reach out directly to Peter Faleskini. He's happy to help.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.